We can open up with a handshake, sir.
We should have timed it with the video.
There we go. We could have. I know, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. I thought,
dude,
we'll do it next week.
Next week.
We're back for episode 80, everybody. Good to see you.
That's right, episode 80.
80, right?
My
80 to
God.
80. I'm telling you, we're approaching 100.
It's too many damn
episodes. You didn't think we'd make it this far?
I really didn't.
No.
I don't think we have made it this far.
Okay. Well,
I think it's all a
matter of
complete and
perspective.
total discombobulation.
I know, I think it's
However, we
it's
are
nice.
back, ladies and germs.
A nice round number,
That's
80.
right.
I'm
My
happy.
stash has grown in, you may note.
Yeah,
It's
my
nice.
beard is back. It was only gone about a month.
Thick kind of a thing there.
Yeah.
But
it's nice to something on you.
You know, I
thick.
did have to shave it down for the giving birth video.
You did, I know.
If any of you are out there, please check out our giving birth video. It has now been put up by Mr. Christopher
It's on our YouTube page. Just check it out.
It's
by itself.
Up.
You don't have to sit through the whole episode. Just go to YouTube and just type in "bizarre baby birth." Film
Which camera? Which camera do I look
at?
You
go to the wide shot.
Oh, okay. Let's do the wide shot.
He's still learning, guys.
All right, cool.
Still learning.
All right, so...
but we welcome you to episode 80.
Welcome you.
We're excited to talk about some new films
We're
and some films of yesteryear. We got a nice roster for you.
I have a nice roster for you.
He still has the head injury, so that's why he's talking like that.
I'm a Rasta man.
Yeah.
There you go, my friend. There you go, my friend.
To your health.
To your health, my friend. You know, now it is now proven that cannabis is one of the great cures for cancer, they say.
Yeah.
So any of you out there, thank you.
I don't know what blend this is, but it's pretty good.
I don't know. It sounds like Fruit of the Looms.
Yeah.
It's good shit, man. It tastes like my underwear. Yeah. Hey. There you go.
Very nice.
Little Fruit of the Loom breed. Yeah, it's good shit.
Thanks
you know
for
what
providing.
I'm saying? Yeah, little
You're
streak.
always a good provider.
Little streak. I am a provider.
So
one of us has to provide the humor here, so
yeah,
I have been elected.
That's your department, my friend.
Very true. So we're going to now talk about some of the film bantering that we do. This is how we banter. This show is called Film Banter, as you may note, and we do banter about film.
We do.
We love cinema.
If you might as well banter, it might as well be about film.
Oh, well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Well, what about a rooster? There are bantam roosters,
yeah,
and what do they banter about?
I don't know.
Any cockle-do, they say. Any cockle-do.
They just want to eat,
right?
Have some sex, and
precisely.
Go to the bathroom.
And don't we all? That's all. That's all. Pretty much all of us.
Life for every being pretty much revolves around those three things.
You know, that's basically it.
Human beings have the luxury of being able to have aspirations.
Well, we got to come in here and
go
do
to a movie. We can do that kind of stuff. Animals is purely about survival and procreation.
This is so true, ladies and gentlemen.
Sometimes I go do like a very boring task, like going to do laundry, or you're doing something. You just say to myself, "Look at that squirrel. That squirrel has it so easy." But then you think about it. Actually, no. It actually has to survive. It has to think about what it's going to eat, where it's going to find its next meal.
Well, it's instinctual.
It has no idea of the world around it, really.
Did I tell you I ran over a male squirrel the other day?
You did?
Yeah.
My dad ran over a duck's back, so.
Really?
Yeah, years ago. He felt bad about it.
Oh, well,
but
you're
I
supposed
feel
to
bad
say,
when I hit an animal.
How did you know it was a male squirrel?
I know where this is going. You've told this story before.
I have.
Let me ask you, Darryl, how did you know it was a male squirrel?
That I ran over, you mean?
Yeah, how did you know?
I knew it was a male squirrel because I heard his nuts crack.
Yeah, but...
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, let's get on
with
our show.
He's full of old material here.
All right, I am full of old material because, ladies and gentlemen, I am old material.
Yeah, you are.
So,
but you don't look it.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're aging very gracefully.
Oh, how nice of you to
like a wonderful Italian
mention.
wine.
Okay, well, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
So, okay,
and
so
you do wine quite a bit.
I do. I don't really.
No, you're a whiner.
Oh, I am a whiner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I am a whiner.
Yeah, you are.
I think
a whiner.
I am.
And your voice is a whiny quality to it.
Today I'm particularly whiny. I don't know why. I didn't get much sleep.
It's the weather, probably.
Yeah.
I had a scratchy throat this morning from the weather. The humidity. Yeah, it wasn't good.
You need Dr. Darrell's specific 2-ball solution.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think that would work, but it has a handy applicator and it soothes and calms your throat all at the same time. So I used to say that to my girlfriend all the time.
And how'd she respond?
She tried it and she liked it.
She did?
Yeah, she thought it was wonderful.
She recommended it?
She did indeed.
Oh,
but I don't think there were too many other takers, unfortunately. So anyway, we're going to talk about Deadpool.
That's the big movie this week we're going to be covering. Deadpool
opened last week. Well, Deadpool opened last Friday.
Yeah.
I was there actually on the Thursday night show.
Yes, so was I.
And it was a very crowded audience for a Thursday night show. Packed. You know, it did a $16 million opening,
just on Thursday.
Which is outrageous for a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
And for the weekend, it made like what, 125?
Made about 126.
It finally knocked Avengers off its pedestal a little bit.
It did indeed.
But that's going to be short-lived because we know it's opening up this week.
We know that we're all going solo.
We're going solo
this weekend, and that's going to be a new breed of. And they're saying that that's not going to be a standard Star Wars opening, though, which kind of amazes me.
Yeah, they're thinking it might be a little less.
Well, it's a prequel.
Yeah, I think this one is going to live and die on the word of mouth. I think that this one is going to. People are skeptical. They're probably a little nervous.
Right.
The diehard fans will see it right away, obviously.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I still think it's going to do very well.
I hope you're right.
Disney's not going to lose any money on this movie. Let's put it that way.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
And look at it this way: does every movie need to break records? As long as it's good, make a good movie.
You know, I went to a record show. In fact, there was a guy here. His name is Brian. He was supposed to go. Did he break any records? No.
Oh.
It's the kind of guy he is.
Well, it's okay.
All right.
But anyway, Deadpool 2, shall we discuss?
Geez, a little gas there.
I told you not to eat that enchilada.
Terribly sorry.
This guy ate 2 enchiladas in the car.
I know.
On the way here. I don't know how he did it.
So sorry. Ooh. Oh, God.
I should have brought my mask.
So embarrassing. Well, I have mine.
Yeah.
I'll put it on a little bit.
Yeah.
But, okay, get back to Deadpool. I think we should review the film.
Well, I think we should.
I think should.
That's why we're here.
I think that is why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know you are a diehard aficionado
I'm a diehard aficionado of the original.
So why don't you begin?
I shall begin the begin. Or begin
maybe give the premise. I don't think we need to get too much into the premise.
Mr. Cole Porter. Well, the premise is such. We know Mr. Deadpool here, played by the incredibly hilarious Mr. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
He did, in fact. I don't quite remember whether he was one of the original writers of the first film.
I don't think he was,
but I
know he did
a lot of ad-libbing.
One.
A lot of ad-libbing in the first film.
Yeah.
But he was one of the third of the writers on this particular film.
Which is the reason, actually, the original director did not do part 2.
Geez, I'm so sorry.
The director of the first did not continue on the second one. He left in the pre-production phase because he was getting a lot of, I guess him and Ryan Reynolds were having a lot of creative differences, so they left. And now the guy that came in to direct this, David Leitch, was one of the stunt guys for John Wick.
Right.
And a lot of other stuff. This guy's got a huge resume, second unit director.
Oh, very good.
I thought he did a great job with this film.
Did you?
But continue.
I thought it was a well-directed film.
It was.
Was it as funny as the first film? For me, no. It was not.
I thought maybe not. I thought this was more joke-centric than the first. They really tried to bring out the jokes, I thought, in this one. I thought there was a lot of moments that were filled with a lot of laughter.
I personally was disappointed with this film.
You were?
I was.
Okay.
It was not as funny. Of course, now the first film is embedded in my brain. I've seen it 8 to 10 times. I truly have. I love the first Deadpool. I
think the first one's already
the first
become
one,
a classic.
The first one, in all honesty, there's always that sense of origin that we get with these films that just, there's just no denying that the first film just has a certain sense of newness to it. It's like very often the first album by a band is always one of their better albums. And then, of course, they've only, as Ryan Reynolds said, he had 10 years to write the first one because from mental copulation to actual on-screen, it was a 10-year time.
They bled on the pages to get that first movie made, and they really knocked it out of the park.
But he only had 2 years to write this one, which seems to me an awful lot, an incredible amount of time. One could certainly write a pretty decent film in 2 years, but you've got to stay up to date. There's a Jared Kushner joke here and there. So is that going to be relevant in 10 years' time? Probably not. Unless Jared's still in jail, and God only knows where the Trump regime shall be back in those upcoming years. However, I was disappointed with this film. I didn't love it nearly as much. There's a segment there with the kid. We have a little Rebel Wilson Jr.
His name is Julian Dennison. Yeah,
right.
He was most recently in a film that I talked about a few months back with you on our old version of the show.
Oh, really?
He was in Hunt for the Wilder People. It was an Australian film with Sam Neill.
Oh, okay.
And the kid was pretty good in that.
I'm sorry.
But he has a big part in this movie. Yeah.
He's basically Rebel Wilson Jr., I think. Rebel Wilson, of course, is in the Pitch Perfect film. She is
So you're making a correlation between their weight and country of origin.
Precisely. Yeah. And the way they're humoresque type of emissions, and not that kind of emission.
Oh, my goodness.
But they're general, just the way they speak and the way that Australian, New Zealandian tang that they both possess. But, I didn't like the whole middle segment. There's no spoilers here, but there is a segment there where we have this little boy. He's a firemonger kind of kid. He's eventually thrown in jail with Deadpool. I just thought that whole segment could have been tossed out. I just didn't appreciate it all that much. I found the film a bit disappointing, no question about it. For me, it was a bit of a letdown. I love the character. Did you like the Lucky girl, Little Miss Lucky?
I thought she was pretty good.
I did like her, and
I liked her. The actress was Zazie Beetz. I thought she was pretty good.
I liked her.
I liked her character. I loved that whole little sequence where they're
That's
like...
not her, by the way, the pictures that we're showing. She is a black lady, and most attractive, and she is... there's a bit of a fro. There she is. Very good.
She's very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do a brief applause for our astute team. Listen, we've got guys, they've all been smoking their underwear all day. They're down there. They got bongs. They've got toilet bowls hooked up to bongs. They're doing so much weed and so much dope right now. It's just incredible. And the fact that they can get these proper pictures on the screen right now is a tribute to them.
Yes, they're doing a great job.
A brief round of applause, if I may.
They're doing very
good
well.
there. There's Gabe is down there, and Adam and Brian, of course, breaking records everywhere.
I really love that whole sequence where they're auditioning the members of their new team, where they're basically forming the X-Force.
That was fun.
And they had that one guy that shows up he was just a regular Joe with the mustache. Peter or Paul or something? I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun.
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, the film has elements.
Had some laughs.
There's a wonderful, and I am not going to give it away, but there is one segment here where Ryan loses part of his anatomy and they are growing back. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
My God. That was just so fun and so creative and so wonderful. And I'll tell you something, the first half of the film for me was kind of started a little strong, it kind of went downhill, then it picked up again about midway through. And I thought towards the end of the film it actually came better, but I didn't like that whole segment there with the kid and the jail and the bullshit. But
how did you like Josh Brolin as Cable, the time-traveling mutant?
I liked him.
I thought he was pretty good. I'll be honest, I still would have preferred a different choice.
Me too.
And I love Josh Brolin. I mean, this is not a slight on him. I thought he did what he could with the role. He did a good job. He was a fun character. But
exposure.
I know. I just would have preferred a little bit more of an inspired choice.
Yeah,
I would have loved to see either Stephen Lang, which was my first choice.
Stephen Lang?
He was the villain in Avatar. I would have loved him.
Okay.
He would have been great.
He's a little old, though.
Cable's an old character. Josh Brolin's actually young for Cable.
Oh, okay.
Stephen Lang would have been great. I would have loved to have seen a bulked up Liam Neeson. That would have been cool, too.
Oh, I don't know.
Even Pierce Brosnan would have been cool.
Really?
And those
These
were
guys
three
are
of the
too
people.
old. I don't know.
No, but that's the Cable is
I think you need a buffed up guy,
yeah, but Josh Brolin buffed up for the role.
No, I realize
that. And Cable is supposed to be an old man.
I'll tell you who would have done perfect. I'm just looking at the shape of his head. Mickey Rourke, right out of
Mickey Rourke would have been good. Yeah, he would have been good too.
Sex in the City.
But
no, what was that? Sin City.
Sin City as Marv, yeah.
Right, as Marv.
No, but they wanted a bigger name, and I don't know. I just think you're right. Josh Brolin's getting a little too much overexposure now.
2 weeks ago, we just saw him in the Avengers.
And now we're going to see him in a month or so in Sicario 2. He's in everything.
I know. Well, he was great in the Sicario 1.
No, he is.
I did love that film.
Yeah, it was a good film.
Denis Villeneuve is not directing. But,
he's not directing the sequel. He
very
did.
True. We talk so quickly. That's why nobody can even hear us. Look, Porgstar's back.
Hi, Porgstar.
Hey,
how you doing?
Porgstar.
Good to see you.
They're good.
But overall, I enjoyed Deadpool 2.
Did you? Okay.
The first one, yes, is a better film in all. But I thought this was still a lot of fun.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I especially loved the 2 post-credit scenes. The second one especially was awesome. I thought that was probably the best post-credit scene I've seen in a Marvel movie.
You're talking post-credits at the end of the film.
Yeah, post-credits.
Post-credits.
That's what post-credits means, after the film.
Well, okay, I wasn't sure because there were... you're correct.
There were 2 post-credit scenes.
Very good.
The second one was more of a montage and longer than the first. That was awesome.
Really?
And that's not a spoiler. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Oh, I'll have to go back and see those
credits.
credits.
Maybe you didn't stay for it.
The credit scene.
The scene that comes...
Well, the scene that you need to see, yes.
Yeah, it was 2 post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the second one.
The second one is vital to the film.
Yeah, it's a montage more than anything.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, I don't know if you've got that Green Lantern poster. Do you have that right at your beck and call?
I did provide it.
He did provide it, but you know.
I know you wanted to discuss Green Lantern briefly.
We hire the handicapped here, so you never know if they're actually going to have this on trial. But they do. Ladies and gentlemen, a brief round of applause. I'd like to say thank you for the Green Lantern poster because you know what? Ryan makes a lot of
there are some jokes
there's
about
there's
Green
a couple
Lantern.
jokes in the middle and towards the end of the film. I like it when he shoots himself in the head.
Why are you giving that away?
Oh, I'm sorry.
God, this man does not know how to give away a spoiler.
It was just a brief moment of insanity.
Ignore his spoiler
There's a brief
tendencies.
moment of insanity on my behalf. But listen, I got to say that I went back and watched Green Lantern again.
Yes.
I watched the extended version.
Yes.
It's exactly 2 hours long. It's not the 1 hour and 51 minute version. It is 2 hours, and I really enjoyed it again. I just did. And of course, the luscious, the most heavenly, the most beautiful Miss Blake Lively, who just makes parts of my person most lively. I must be honest.
That's where the two of them met.
No, indeed. And you know, there's a behind the scenes segment.
Yes.
Which there's featurettes on my disc.
Yes.
And they have Blake Lively, and she's talking to one of the sub-directors or assistant directors.
Yeah.
And she's saying, Ryan Reynolds, he's such a good guy. Everybody likes him here. And she's like so excited about it. I tell you, it brought a little tear to me, to my eye, if I may say so. You know,
I guess overall, you know, we still would both recommend Deadpool 2.
I suppose I would.
It's recommendable.
Listen, if you saw the first, I think you're going to enjoy the second one.
I think so too.
It just wasn't.
It's very enjoyable.
It wasn't quite as powerful, however, as the first one.
You know, when something new comes out like that, it's hard to top that.
It is.
You know? So I still think it's an admirable effort. I still think it was a lot of fun.
All right, very good.
And I enjoyed it. So we're going to move on?
I suppose we can move on. I think we've said it all about Deadpool,
we beat a Deadpool horse.
Okay, we beat a Deadpool.
Dead horse, Deadpool horse.
Well, should we tell the people?
A dead horse pool.
Should we tell the people about your idea for one of our bits? We were just going to have a pool, dead in the water.
Yeah, I mean, it was a silly thing. It was kind of like a very simple joke.
Simple is not even the word, my friend.
Yeah. But
let us go beyond into the depths of hell.
We are going to do
as we enter the overboard.
We're going overboard.
We're going back.
Yes.
We're going back. And of course,
so this is.
Did you also give our beloved staff here pictures of the Goldie Hawn?
Well, I just gave them the poster of the original.
Could you throw that poster up?
So the new Overboard is out now for a couple weeks.
Throw up the original. We're going to talk about the original first.
We meant to review this.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, our astute staff.
Very nice.
I tell you, they may be smoking their underwear. They may be down there doing shots off each other's backs.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I applaud them.
I applaud them. All right, so I'll start this moment by saying that I'm a huge fan of the original film. I grew up on the original Overboard. It's one of my favorite.
I had never seen it before.
You've never seen it. It's one of my favorite comedies from the 80s. I love Kurt Russell. This is Goldie Hawn in her prime.
She's fantastic.
It's a lot of fun. If you don't know the premise, it's very simple. She plays a snob who's on a yacht. They've docked in a small town in Oregon, and a local carpenter.
In
Oregon?
Oregon? You mean Oregon?
Oregon.
Okay.
Oregon.
All right.
Oregon.
If you don't shape up, or you're going to be a gun.
Yeah.
You understand?
Kurt Russell plays a local guy who's a carpenter, and he goes onto the yacht to fix something for her. He builds her this little thing for her shoes. She doesn't like it. She throws him overboard.
She does.
And then eventually karma comes back and hits her on the head, literally.
And they both go overboard for each other.
One night she falls off the boat, and then eventually she ends up in a hospital with
amnesia. She ends up with amnesia.
And to get revenge, he says that she is his wife and puts her to work, and eventually through the process they fall in love.
In his white trash home with the three kids. I know, it looks like
it's a fun fish out of water story.
Looks like a vision out of the real McCoys.
And so I loved it. And so for me, I always thought it was blasphemy to try to remake such a classic. But whatever, that's what Hollywood does.
Hollywood does do that.
We have the new one.
May I now give my review on the original?
Oh, yeah, what did you think about
the new one? That's right,
I forgot. What did you think about it?
Oh, well, thanks for remembering, dude.
Shut up.
Okay, yeah, shut up. How many times have I heard, shut up?
Because it's a fun thing to say.
No, it's not. It's not fun. I don't enjoy being told, shut up.
I enjoy telling you to shut up.
I don't like being told. Do it again, though.
Shut up.
Okay.
Continue your review.
I tell you, this is so much fun here.
Yes.
But I got to talk about, I loved this film.
The first one.
I watched the first Overboard.
It's great.
I loved it. I did not expect to love it.
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn gives an Oscar-winning performance in this film. She metamorphosizes from rich bitch. She goes and she knocks it down a notch. Film is directed by Gary Marshall.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Of course, you know.
Well, Pretty Woman, obviously.
Well, yeah,
before this was before Pretty
Woman. Penny Marshall's brother,
older brother.
But I think he also directed that horrible sitcom they were in. You know, she and Marcia, what's her name?
Oh, you mean you're talking about Laverne and Shirley?
Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, he probably did.
He directed some of that or created it, whatever the deal.
He's an icon.
I love this film. I absolutely loved it.
Movie.
Goldie is spectacular in this film. Kurt is,
everybody's perfect.
You know, Kurt just plays he plays the what's his name? Patrick Swayze role, basically.
Yeah.
He's just the good-looking stud guy. He always goes out and, you know, have a few beers.
He's a provider. He's got the three boys.
I also like the Spanish individual who plays his best friend. He kind of looks like
no,
the guy
in the
from,
original there isn't a Spanish guy. It's a chubby guy.
Yeah.
He's been in a million movies.
I
He's
thought
great.
he was a Spanish guy.
No, there's a Spanish guy in the remake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's Spanish in the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the original's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't provide
No, the original
photos of
really
the cast
is
because
great.
I didn't think we were going to be lingering.
It's a wonderful film.
It's a great film.
I truly loved it. I loved it. I did not expect to love it.
I'm glad you did. I'm so happy to hear it.
I was blown away. I put it on at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I watched the whole thing.
I'm glad.
I couldn't stop.
I am so pleased to hear that you love one of my favorite movies.
Warmed the cockles of my little heart.
This was one of my mother's favorite movies,
I'm telling you, this really film, it's a guaranteed crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
There's just a warmth. There's a vitality, you know, and you got to just say to yourself, boy, they don't make films like they used to.
I know.
But they do. They do make films like they used to. They just cost more, and they're just more visually oriented.
Yeah.
But c'est la vie, as they say in Paris. Yeah. Let's get to the new film.
So now the remake.
The remake.
They've switched
Anna
it
Faris.
where the snob is a rich playboy, played by the Mexican superstar Eugenio Derbez, who is now
Eugenio Dirtbag?
Derbez.
Oh, okay.
I guess is how you say it.
All right.
He's from Mexico, and in this film, he is the guy who's the heir to a very... That's nice, thank you.
I'm sorry.
He's the heir to a very big international corporation, a Mexican corporation.
Okay.
And so Anna Faris plays the blue-collar, hard-working mother raising 3 girls. She plays the Kurt
Russell role.
Yeah. Instead of 3 boys, it's 3 girls. She's working her way towards a dream, which is
we know that
a nurse.
We know that the plot is very, very similar to the original film. They do reverse genders. Eva Longoria is her best friend, etc. Just like the Spanish guy, or not the chubby guy, as you call him,
was in the original,
which is not the way to call oversized people. You shouldn't be calling them chubby.
Weight challenge, is that better?
Yeah.
Oversized?
Weight challenge is good.
Weight challenge.
I like that.
I like weight challenge.
Okay, there you go.
He was great. He's been in a ton of movies.
I do love Anna Faris. She has she's very good. You know, she's very good. Well, I will say this about this, and then you may give your review if you'd like, or would you like to give your review first?
No, you're already talking.
All right, I'm already talking about
continue.
it. I might as well. You know, if this film were not a remake, if we were just watching this as a new thing, new comedy, and if they hadn't told us that they were remaking Overboard, so we all would have figured that out anyway, that they're remaking it. But I thought it stood on its own to some extent. The ending is still a formula, bit of a not powerful. No. But the ending is still formulaic enough that it works.
It's pretty much exact as the original.
True,
for the most
tested formula.
Yeah.
It manipulates the audience. Okay, he's a bad guy. He's an asshole. Whatever you want to call him. She's the nice person now, and then she turns into not such a nice person to seduce him, and then she finds that he's really a good guy. Just like Kurt finds out that Goldie is really a nice person underneath all the amnesia and the core human being. So the ending, of course, you know, I don't want to give it away, but I will. No, I won't. I won't give it away.
No, but people can expect what the ending would be.
Both endings of both films going in precisely the same direction.
Exactly.
Many lines right out of the new film they stole right out of the original.
They just might change like one word or two.
Yeah, they change a word or two. But
there's a couple. What I liked was a couple good winks to the audience about the old film.
True.
The one in particular is when he is still in the hospital with amnesia, and in this film, his sister comes to see him.
Right.
Who wants the family company, so she decides to leave him in the hospital.
Correct.
And the doctor is talking to the sister, saying, "Well, we don't really get amnesia up here in these parts. It only happened once.
With 20 years ago.
20 years ago with a young blonde woman.
Well, an attractive young blonde woman.
Wink, wink. Which I thought was kind of fun.
That was kind of fun.
But overall, you know, it's funny. I have a similar reaction as you did, not necessarily wanting to see this film. We both kind of forced ourselves to see it for this show.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, the film won me over. As you said, if this was a standalone film, it would have been fine.
No.
And I enjoyed this movie more than I expected to.
I did too.
And I felt that if they're going to remake Overboard, this was probably the best way to do it. They updated it in just the right ways. I thought adding the Mexican or Latino element to the film was kind of a smart move because you're getting that built-in audience with this big star.
Well,
and for me, it worked.
Okay.
It added an element to the story that worked for me with the family being all connected to the family business, his 2 sisters, his father being the strict guy. And then I liked all the banter with the coworkers when now he's working as a construction guy and they're making fun of him. And I thought that camaraderie was fun.
Right.
So I really enjoyed this update more than I ever expected to.
Well, I wouldn't go overboard about it.
No, but I'm not saying it's better than it's not the original.
There was a pun there. Did you get it?
Yeah, I did get that, yes. But overall, I would recommend somebody checking this out once it's available at home.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to the theater.
Out to see it.
I wouldn't go to the theater to see this film.
You don't need to see it in the theater.
Absolutely not.
But I would recommend it because it's really not a bad film.
No, it's not.
Considering
it's well made.
How I mean, holier than thou, I hold the original.
True.
I thought this was decent.
All right.
It's a B movie. I give it a B, solid B rating.
Okay.
I recommend it.
It is a B film.
It is. No, but I would recommend it. The cast also is very good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add before we move on?
Not particularly. I didn't like the second one. I didn't like the remake, I think, as much as you did. Yeah. But I did find that it went along into that formula that works so well on the first. Yeah. And I thought Anna Faris really, she's just so charming.
She's the heart of the film.
She is the heart and soul because she's got those big, amazing eyes. And there's just, she wears her soul on her face. And I found her to be very charming. I love her on the show Mom that she does with Allison and Janney. Yeah. Great show. I just enjoy some of this stuff. So, yeah, I could definitely, I thought it was a reputable piece of work.
Yeah, that's a good word.
It wasn't great by any means.
Entertaining enough to recommend.
It was indeed.
I will say this, though. I do believe, though, that the romance is more plausible in the original. I bought the romance of the two leads more so than I did in this film.
Well, Goldie and Kurt fell in love on that film.
Well, I know that. No, they might have been together before this film.
I don't think that much.
I think they were.
Well, possibly. I think they were. I don't think so. I think they were pretty much a done deal. That movie kind of put them together.
I'd have to look that up because I thought they were already an item.
Oh, all right.
It doesn't matter.
But I did find their chemistry really was so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and not that it matters, but I think there's a huge age difference here between Eugenio and Anna Faris, too.
He wasn't so bad a guy in this, where Goldie's a real hardcore bitch.
She is. In this one, he's just full of himself.
He's just full of himself, and he's got the girls on the boat and so forth and so on. But I just found the evil versus good far more contrasted in the original film.
No, I know what you're saying.
And so much more plausible and relatable too. Yeah. Where this film just kind of they were swimming, if you will, for trying to make it. It felt a bit desperate to me at times, possibly, but. Regardless, it still worked. Yeah. So let us move on.
So we're going to move on now. We're going to do a film that just premiered over the weekend on HBO, an HBO original film. Basically a film version of Ray Bradbury's favorite...
easy for you to say.
Famous novel, Fahrenheit...
Ray Bradbury.
Ray Bradbury. I had a tongue twist there. Ray Bradbury. Bradbury. Let's say that 5 times.
Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury.
Very good. For Fahrenheit 451.
Yes.
So, starring Michael Shannon and Michael B. Jordan.
Correct. Now, we must make reference to the original film, 1965, I believe. Might have been 64, directed by Francois Truffaut.
Yeah, around that time.
Starred a man by the name of Oscar Werner.
I never saw the original.
Oscar Werner was a German actor at the time who was very good in his way. And Julie Christie, of course, had just come off Dr.
I remember that she was in the original.
Zhivago, and they made this film. This film, for me, is, the book is a... the futuristic books that we have 1984, we have Brave New World.
Yes, all three of them can be kind of on the same shelf.
Pretty good on paper. Don't always translate to film. There was a 1984 version of 1984 with Richard Burton and John Hurt. That was actually pretty good, but it was such a dark, horribly gloomy, miserable film, I tell you. And of course, if you do get the VHS copy of the film, it came with 2 razor blades taped to the back, so you could slit your wrist at the end, because it was a miserable viewpoint of the future. And of course, and it was made in 1984. I do believe
came out in 84.
Well, forgive me. Back in the 40s, there was a version with Edmund O'Brien, which was very good. And this is when Edmund O'Brien, we don't have any pictures of him. And boy, staff, if you could come up with an Edmund O'Brien picture right away, I'd be thrilled. But it ain't going to happen. But this was the original version of the film. It was in black and white, and it was a little bit more frightening, I will say. Edmund O'Brien was a very overweight man at the time. But let's get back to...
that must have come out right after the book came out, because the book came out post-World War II.
Yeah, I believe so.
I thought it was after World War I.
I think so. Brave New World came out early. But we're talking early Fahrenheit.
20th century. Yeah.
Well, Ray Bradbury was an author of the 50s and 60s. Yes. I believe Fahrenheit 451 was probably written in the early 60s.
Yeah, but I was referencing 1984. I thought it was written post World War II.
Okay, well, that's another film.
Anyway,
Fahrenheit 451. Michael B. Jordan.
And Michael Shannon. They're firefighters, but it's spun. It's the opposite of what you think a firefighter would be. They are creating fires by burning all the literature, all the books.
Well, that's what Fahrenheit 451 it is. It is the actual burning point of paper.
Yeah.
And it is about basically how our society has gone into Trump land. A man who has not read a book in his life. I don't even think he didn't even co-write Art of the Deal, they're now saying. Somebody wrote it for him.
Well, yeah, I've heard that guy interviewed. He wrote the whole thing.
Right. He wrote the whole book. But, we're talking about a society who is now completely banning all forms of information and kind of entertainment reading material, which kind of baffles me.
Everybody's obsessed with this thing called the Nine, which is basically this movie's version of the internet.
Right.
All information is controlled by the ruling government body. Everything is manipulated. History is rewritten to, like, for example, they mentioned that, the fire department was created by Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin did this. Benjamin Franklin did that.
Right.
And they're just telling these people all these lies.
Right.
What was interesting to me, they call all the books, the written word, graffiti.
Yeah.
It's all graffiti.
It's
all nonsense. Yeah.
Right.
Because I'll be honest, I'm ashamed to admit, I never actually read the book.
Which one?
Fahrenheit 451. I've never read it.
I did.
Somehow my high school career.
It's really not a book. It's a novella.
Yeah,
it's very short.
Yeah.
It was really just included in Ray Bradbury. Well, he was just such a great writer, this guy. If you could go back and just read, there was a particular book he did. It was made into a film with Rod Steiger called The Illustrated Man. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it was so amazing. Mm-hmm. And it was about a man who was completely tattooed from head to toe. And every tattoo becomes a story in the book.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And Rod Steiger, of course, had to sit through hours and hours of
makeup,
being tattooed, and somebody had to paint his body from head to toe, literally. And Bradbury was truly an amazing guy. And of course, if you note in Blade Runner, the original film from 1981 or whatever it was, 82?
I think it's 82.
It's 82.
It sounds like 82.
But anyway, they end up in the Bradbury Hotel. That's where the whole finale of the film is.
Okay, yeah.
It was actually done at the Bradbury.
Cool.
It was a homage to Mr. Ray Bradbury. Anyway, he is a brilliant man, a brilliant writer. He is now deceased.
He is deceased.
And of course, his pages of his book would be burned in this very film, if in fact it were to be.
Yeah.
But this is a film about the future where books are now banned, and there is now the underground world has now been created to steal these books and keep these books.
Pass them along to future generations. And it's interesting.
About this film particularly, we have Michael B. Jordan, who is an incredible actor.
He's
I
very
have great
good.
respect for the man. And of course, there's Michael Shannon on the right.
He's busy as hell.
I just said to you, I wish Michael Shannon would take a goddamn year off.
Yeah.
Because all he does is work. He's at every other. He's in so many big. He is indeed.
And unfortunately, though, I mean, I love him in anything he does.
I do too.
But he is now becoming like the go-to bad guy. And as long as he doesn't mind being that,
yeah. But there's such
a
thing.
Good job.
It's like Josh Brolin here, a little overexposure. I gotta say, enough is enough. But all these films are generally made a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and then they not 3 years ago.
Well, this is probably
within the last year, right?
Yeah.
But then they just happen to come out at the same time. So we feel that oversaturation, even though the films may have been made a year apart.
Exactly.
But there is a thing called time.
Yeah, remember 2011 was the big coming out party for Jessica Chastain, where she was in 3, 4, 5 films that year.
Was she?
They just happened to all be in the can and previous. They just all were released at one period. All of a sudden, they're like, oh my God, this actress is and everything.
I know.
Who is she?
I know.
And then now we know she's wonderful.
She is wonderful.
But this Fahrenheit, I gotta say, this is a gorgeous looking film. It's beautiful.
It's well made.
The production design is great. The coloring is just look at the coloring. It's beautiful.
No, it's quite
nice. A lot of
stark
blues and reds and purples, and it's great.
Well, I think it visually had to be. I think the film was very one-dimensional. I didn't care for this film.
It's a simple storyline. It's not a complex film.
Once again, we're talking about a futuristic thing.
Yeah.
It's just there's not a real lot of places for it to go. We have the bad guys. We have the people trying to hold on to the books, creating this whole underground world, etc. And I just found that there was nowhere for it to go. As I'm watching this film, I'm saying to myself, is Michael B. Jordan, is he miscast in this film, or was there just not enough for him to do? that was my whole thinking philosophy as I watched this movie. Michael Shannon is brilliant, and not brilliant. He's just playing the caricature that he plays in every movie. That ultimate bad guy, Shape of Water, and you know, Man of Steel. I just watched again recently, the Superman saga. And I'll tell you, I didn't find this film to be. I just kind of went into a whole. It was just a little too convex. There wasn't a wide eye viewing this film. It was a very minute, claustrophobic kind of, which was basically what the book is. There's no way to really put this book on film unless you embellish it and you create more characters and give it a little bit more life. But your take?
Well, you know, not having any
knowledge.
I mean, I knew I've known for years what the story was about. Not having read it, not having seen any other versions, I really enjoyed it. I didn't love the film. It's not a film I'm going to see. You got to see it. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was an average HBO film. I thought it was a fairly I would say an ambitious HBO original film. They tend to, with the films, linger mostly with biographies of people. A lot of their films tend to lean in that territory. So for them to do a science fiction film based on a famous novel.
Well, I think Michael B. Jordan is the executive producer of this film. He probably got it green-lit as far as the studio goes.
But I thought it was enjoyable. I liked it. I thought Sofia Boutella was very good as a female.
I thought she was excellent.
She's part of this, the underground movement.
Right. What have we seen her in recently?
Well, we saw her, she was in Atomic Blonde. She was in the new Mummy film with...
was that her?
I believe she was in the Mummy with... liked with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
I thought you liked that film a little bit.
No, I thought it was okay.
Okay, all right. Well,
but it was very disappointing. End result, it was a disappointing thing.
But she's getting a decent amount of work. She was good in this. This was directed by, what's his name?
She's in that new film now. She's in a new film now where she's like jumping around, kicking ass again. I just saw a new preview on it. Yeah. It's the new film with Jodie Foster.
Oh, yeah, she's in that.
She's in that.
Yeah, the one that's coming, the Artemis Hotel.
Something Hotel.
That looks pretty good.
Bingo.
And she was in, remembering her now, she was in the woman with the blade feet in the first Kingsman film.
Was she?
I think that was her.
Ah, you might be right.
I'm pretty sure that was her.
Very good.
Yeah.
She's
very good.
Beautiful woman in a very, she almost looks like a Modigliani painting.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Modigliani, he always had kind of long noses.
Yeah, I know the reference. I can't say I know it off the top of my head. I know the name.
It's a good thing you stick with me, kid, because, I've got the art reference.
You're the king of nice, obscure references that one guy got.
Obscure references, but it is a general token appreciation.
Some guy in Finland right now just got that reference. He's happy about it.
I don't think so. I think everybody has vacated us after the Microsoft. They're all worn out.
Well, we were supposed to get an audience from that tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let's see what happens.
It looks as though they've all gone, on vacation here. But anyway, we're still here.
Well, no, the audience is micro and soft.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, speak for yourself, buddy. Hey.
But anyway, I would recommend checking out Fahrenheit on HBO. You can't go wrong.
It's a fun, you can. It's free. If you have HBO, you're paying your $10 a month. You might as well watch it.
I don't think this film would have done, done too well in the theater. I think it's ripe to be on TV.
Exactly.
And so I would recommend it for that regard. Oh, wow, look at this.
There's something about the air here.
Yeah.
And I can't seem to...
I'm happy you brought that for yourself.
I know.
Although I have nothing to protect my nostrils.
It's me, though. It's not you. I just want you to know that.
No, I know it's you.
Yeah, it's me.
I'm very aware that it's you.
And everyone's saying, well, why is his hand over there?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. It should just be right
here.
here.
All right, so why don't we move on because we're kind of behind here.
Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. I deeply apologize.
We're going to move on. We're going to cover right now, assuming you're ready to move on.
I am prepared.
Okay. We're going to do the 1517 to Paris.
Oh, we are.
It's been on video for a little bit now, available for home viewing.
Home Depot?
I don't think they have this at Home Depot. But the 1570 Paris is the new Clint Eastwood film, the newest to hit shelves at home. And
based on a true story from
2015.
Correct.
About 3 Americans that are traveling through Europe who end up stopping a terrorist attack on a train bound for Paris. As the title would suggest.
Pardon me as I chime in.
Why don't you chime in?
I'd like to chime in that the original actors who did the actual deed on the train.
No, you tell you the original people are the actors.
The original people,
the 3 guys,
they are.
Yeah.
The 3
2 of them
guys,
are servicemen, 1 of them is their friend.
The 3 guys star in this Clint Eastwood film.
I thought that was a bold choice.
I thought it was a bold choice, and I got to be honest with you.
For me, it worked. I thought it worked better than I thought it would.
Okay.
It didn't work for you.
Here's the deal. I sat through the first. This film is about an hour and 41 minutes.
Yeah, I know
long.
what you're going to say because I mentioned this aspect to you.
No, it's a little bit shorter than that. It's only about an hour and 34 minutes long.
They stretched that.
They stretched it out.
Yeah.
You know, some of the acting in the previous scenes. Of course, Clint gives a little bit more time to some kids.
We have to see them as kids.
We see them growing up.
It's only there to stretch out the running time.
Jesus God, and Mary and Fred. But, I have to say the first hour or so of this film, to me, was playing a little solitaire on my phone. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I found it to be a little bit, but then then the thing, forgive me, I'm terribly sorry. There seems to be a pubic hair or something. I don't know what it is, but there's something inside this creation of my face. Perhaps I should have. All right, so I'm going to remove it now because someone has obviously had their way with this mask. It might have been me. And now that I think of it, it is mine.
Oh no!
But anyway, the calmness of this film, the general setup of these characters. Notice I'm going into almost a calm mode myself as I say these words.
I'm noticing that.
Can you see that?
Somber
now?
Daryl has arrived.
It's almost like a Zen moment has appeared in my very being. And that's precisely how I felt watching the first hour of this. It kind of plodded along. It really didn't go anywhere. I thought, okay. But then, the end of the film, that last half hour,
kicks in.
When they board the original train and then to Germany, and then they get on the Germany train to Paris.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you something. I was so moved.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was blown away by...
The payoff is there.
The payoff is incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
These guys, there's really one guy in this film. There's our terrorist right there.
Yeah, the main guy's name is Spencer Stone.
The blonde
playing
guy.
himself, yeah.
And he had a lot of scenes in the film.
His character struggled in the military.
Correct.
Didn't do well, but he always felt he had a calling, a higher purpose.
He did.
And he found it.
And we see him, training for the Marines, doing the push-ups and so forth.
Really wants to be in the military.
And you could see that he, of all the actors of these three men, look at his face right there.
Yeah.
The man is acting.
He's good.
Right on that particular photograph, there is absolute passion in what he's doing. Of the other two guys, there's a black man and the other fellow,
the other guy,
the dark-haired guy.
Yes.
I mean, they really were not as instrumental in the actual.
He was the driver of the narrative. He was the main.
No, I'm talking about the narrative. I'm talking about at the end of the film.
Well, in that scene as well.
When they're going after this terrorist, it was him. He ran into a gun. He ran right into the gun.
He did.
I mean, I just sat there going, holy.
He was the main hero.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was really, really moved by this film. My whole demeanor, I'm
glad.
They show they show a scene of them. They should have showed the Obama segment. Not Obama. I think we had, no, it was Obama.
Obama was the president.
Yeah, Obama was the president. I would have liked that they showed the actual footage, perhaps. They didn't. We don't see that footage in the film. It might be in the end credits or so.
We see the actual footage of them with
the French
Pierre Hollande, the president.
Pierre Lapue.
Pierre Lapue.
Pierre Lapue. Yeah, we see him and he's speaking French, etc., and he's raving about them in Paris for their great bravery, courage, etc. But I was very moved by this film, I have to say.
Clint Eastwood did a great job.
He did a great job.
He is a national treasure. His films might be a little slow at times, but I love Clint Eastwood movies.
The payoff was killer.
Yeah, it was good.
Killer.
Yeah.
Blew my mind, I gotta say.
Yeah,
very
I agree,
impressed.
100%.
Very impressed.
I recommend this.
First hour,
I enjoy it.
Go get a pizza.
Yeah.
Come back. There's nothing to see there. The first hour of the film. The last half hour, it kicks ass.
This is a great movie to assemble IKEA furniture to. You're focused for the first hour, and then you can stop, take a break.
Yeah.
That's when you eat your pizza for the last half hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who knows his furniture.
There we go. I do.
A brief round of applause. Thank you very much.
I have my moments.
All right, let us move on.
So we both recommend, check it out. It's available on Amazon.
Absolutely, I recommend it wholeheartedly.
You can watch it.
I really did enjoy it. I thought it was really a great piece of work.
It was.
I like and the more I think of it, and the more I realized how the ending. And I'm just repeating myself here, but of course I could do that. I could do that right here, I suppose. I like repeating myself once in a while.
Thank you.
But I really did find that the first hour, the setup, the plotting, kind of slow, lethargic, like a great Pink Floyd song, as Adam would appreciate. Whoever he may be, we don't know him from Adam, do we?
Yeah.
But there is truth in my my decisive bullshit. But that first hour, we need that hour.
Yeah.
We need that hour of nothingness going on and just getting associated with these characters because, as we know, the payoff was dynamite.
Great.
Right. A big thumbs up from the
we definitely both enjoyed this film.
From Daryl Coob Smith, who is me. That's me,
you.
folks. I'll give a big thumbs up for that one.
Beautiful.
A big yes.
So we're going to move on to a film called Cargo.
Oh, we are.
Yes, it's a film that's on Netflix. It's another Netflix original.
Correct.
It's an Australian film.
Yes.
This film actually did play in theaters in Australia, apparently.
Oh, did it?
It stars the wonderful Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman.
This is a...
Have we a photo of Martin?
There should be one coming up.
I think there might be. You can see his name on the credit there, on the poster, on the top.
We know who he is. He's been in a lot of movies. He's great in this film. He plays kind of against type. He plays a man who is trying to just survive with his young daughter in a post-apocalyptic Australia.
This is a zombie
there
setting?
Are zombie-esque creatures running around. There's a virus that is turning people into these things.
Correct.
And so this is in the barren outback of Australia.
The outback. Oh, yeah.
The film, mostly in the beginning, takes place. His wife and his daughter are on a houseboat.
Yes.
And they're traversing the river. But they are running low on food, so they know they're going to have to go on shore. And that's when things start happening. And then a lot of the film is him with his baby trying to survive.
Correct.
And the people he meets along the way. Some are good, some are not.
Very true.
It's a survival drama.
It's a survival drama.
It's not a zombie film per se.
You know, I think it is one of the really great zombie movies. I have to say, and I
because it's different.
Well, it's
which
different.
is what I liked about it.
I'll tell you what I really liked about this film. And I'm going to. I hope this isn't necessarily a spoiler because we find out what I'm about to tell you very close to the very beginning of the film.
But if you don't want to know anything, I'd say tune out.
No, don't tune out. When we all get bit by zombies, we know what happens.
I know.
Your time is limited.
Yeah.
And in this particular case, his wife and both he wear a watch that tells them exactly how much time
is left.
They're going to have before they're going to start to, they're going to start to want to eat someone's
it's like 48
face.
hours or something.
Something like that. So his wife, of course, at the very beginning of the film, she's on a boat. She's bitten by someone on the boat. We don't even see that person.
No.
She's bitten.
Hinted at.
You know what I didn't get? Right from the very beginning of the film, we see people with this big like marmalade slime on their face.
Yeah.
What the hell was that about?
All I can think of is that it's coming from their pores or something, or out of their eyes.
Okay.
I don't know. But what I thought was like, why did she find the need to go back to that boat? She didn't need to do that.
No, she wanted to find something. There was something in the boat she wanted, and she was going to get it.
Yeah, but never told us what. I think she wanted to surprise him with something.
No, she wanted something from the boat.
They never really said.
And she goes in, and I was surprised to see her step right.
She wanted to. Stupid. She didn't like his beard. She wanted to find a razor.
Oh, there you go.
It was worth. I hope it was worth it.
Correct.
Yeah,
it was worth it.
It was worth it.
You died.
Yeah.
And she does die fairly quickly. But you know what I loved about this movie? Yeah. I loved this was a metamorphosis movie. And let me tell you, I never metamorphosis I didn't like.
Yeah.
And it's so true indeed. This, it's not very often that we see a film where we just see the slow, we talk about Clint Eastwood giving us a slow build.
Yeah.
This is also a slow build, but there's action going on. I think Martin Freeman perfectly cast.
He was great in this.
He's perfectly cast in this.
I liked him in this. He's an everyman who's
he's got that everyman.
Steps up to the plate because he has no choice.
Persona about him. He's always good. This looks like one of Chris Hemsworth's armpits. Right here, this other particular actor.
His name is Anthony Hayes.
He's not one of the Helmsworth brothers, but he almost looks like he's got the cheekbones and you can show home movies on his forehead there. But I like this film a lot.
I liked it a lot.
The ending I thought was quite moving. Now, of course, he has a baby, little Rosie.
A little daughter who's on his back the whole movie for the most part.
I don't know. I kept saying to myself, the people who actually are the parents of that kid, boy, they were a good couple to find.
Yeah.
Because they let this kid do a lot of stuff, man.
I know.
This kid's like in every scene.
Yeah.
And she's getting abused, and they're yelling, around her and so forth. And but this is a very moving. It's a very moving film.
And he meets a young Aboriginal girl along the way who he forms a
who looks like a young boy, actually.
Yeah,
she never looked like a girl
there
to
she
me.
Is right there. She was very good.
Yeah.
I read that she wasn't an actor. She was kind of an unknown that learned to act on this film.
They probably found her in an Arby's somewhere.
Maybe she did.
She was like petting the koala bears, and next thing you know, they got her in the movie.
Yeah, it's true.
They could have taken her instead of that rotten little kid from Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would have enjoyed her more.
She was very good, yeah.
She was good.
Well, maybe we'll start seeing her in other things. But
yeah.
I definitely recommend Seek Out Cargo on Netflix. It's a good little film.
It really was a good movie.
It's a cool film. It premiered on there recently. It's fairly new.
It's fairly new.
A few weeks.
Not even. Maybe a week ago.
No, I think it's been on my queue for at least 2 weeks.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Very well.
Yeah. So no, I recommend it. We both enjoyed it.
All right, very much.
So in the interest of time, do we want to still show what we were going to show? Or do you want to just go to the next review?
Time. We didn't start till
9,
we still
10.
have another 15 minutes or so.
So do you still want to show the thing?
Show what thing?
The little clip we were going to show, or do you
I
want
don't think it's quite necessary.
We'll just go to the next review.
Skip the clip.
We'll save that for another time.
Oh, we showed it last week.
No, we didn't have a show last week. That's why we didn't show it last week. We weren't here because of the bad storm.
Do you have the clip set up?
It's all. I gave it to them. We can cut to it.
How long is the clip?
4 minutes.
Oh, forget it.
It's a behind the scenes gag reel.
Behind the scenes. Nobody wants to see that stuff. They're seeing us live right now. That's all that matters.
They have it. They're ready to play it if we want to play it.
That's all right. We're going to pass on the clip.
We're going to save it, guys.
We're going to save the clip possibly for next week.
Because I think I'd rather talk to another film.
I think I would too.
Well, we'll show you guys this at a better moment.
All
we
right.
have it in the can when we need it.
What is our next film?
Our next film is a film that's also on Amazon you can watch called Outside In.
Oh.
It was a 2017 film that just recently is now coming out on streaming services.
Yes.
It stars Edie Falco.
Carmela Soprano.
Exactly. And Jay Duplass of the Duplass brothers.
Carmela. Yeah. I know.
So this is it's a very interesting little film. It's about a guy who gets out of jail after 20 years.
He does.
He committed a crime many years past. We find out that
Do we know what the crime was?
Well, yeah, we find out that
he
took the fall for some other people.
Well, we know that, but we don't know what the crime was.
Yeah, there was somebody got killed.
Oh, was it a bank job or something?
No, it was
a theft of some sort.
I think it was a.
But see, you don't know because it wasn't clear what it was.
I want to say it was a convenience store robbery or something.
Yeah, it wasn't very clear.
Some kind of a robbery or drug deal gone wrong, something like that.
There's the star of our film right there.
Jay Duplass.
Very
His brother
good.
is the other is the guy Mark Duplass. They make many films together.
Right. They directed this film together.
No, they did not.
They did not?
No.
Can I say that, though, anyway?
You can't. This was co-written by Jay Duplass, but it was directed by a woman named Lynn Shelton, who has directed him before.
I think she's a country western star, yeah.
Well, no, he wasn't in that, I'm sorry, but he was associated with that. Anyway, long story short, this is a film about this guy who, while he was in prison for 20 years, he really developed a bond with Edie Falco.
He did.
Who was one of his high school teachers.
Correct.
Who got involved in an outreach program.
He kind of falls in love with He had fallen in love with her because she was so instrumental in just guiding him through getting through
his rehabilitation,
his jail time,
prison,
etc. The 20 years he spent away.
And so he comes out and doesn't recognize the world that he's in. Everybody's on their cell phone. Well, he's like, oh my God, everybody's on their cell phones. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's on the computer. He didn't really have that.
I saw you on your cell phone 20 times today.
I know. But anyway, it's interesting how he's readjusting to life, as a lot of ex-cons do.
Very true.
And they find it to be a little like, oh my God, I don't know where I fit in. Mm-hmm. And so he is still stuck on this bond that he made with her.
He's struggling, and he's mentally still in jail. That's what we pretty much can tell from his demeanor. Yeah, he's still in jail.
He's outside, but he's still in. You know?
And yet, I'll tell you this. I don't know what it is. I know. Thanks, Oh Nerd. He's back. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I left the glasses out there in the other room.
Oh, Nerd, it's good to see you. Welcome back.
Good to see you, Oh Nerd. But
good to see you.
What I was going to say was, I don't remember.
He's mentally in jail.
He's mentally still in jail. He comes out. One thing about this, though, I do want to mention, I don't know what it is about those bad boys, but all the babes love him. I mean, Edie Falco, she kind of, we have relationships that kind of bloom. Yeah. There's a young girl, Edie's daughter, as a matter of fact, and they all kind of take to him. It's kind of an interesting little conceptual piece of work.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well written. It felt very real to me.
That's the thing too. It felt very real to me too. Yeah.
My complaint with this film, and I'm going to get right to it. My complaint with this film is that it could have been great. I think this could have been a great film, and it kind of pulled in. It took some changes. It took some turns towards the last act of the film, if you will.
Yeah.
That kind of sucked back. They were afraid to go for the real powerful scenes, and they sucked it back. I think the ending is a little bit of a. I hate these wishy-washy kind of things. I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
We did review Deadpool. Did you like Deadpool 2? Oh, Nerd? He says he did.
It was the first film we reviewed this evening.
He loved it. We were disappointed with it. It wasn't as good as the first, but we still cared for it.
I wasn't disappointed because I didn't have any expectations.
We cared for it.
I enjoyed it still.
Okay, there you go.
He was disappointed.
I was,
he worships
I
the original film.
I love the original film. I truly do. But okay, let's get back into Outside In here.
Yeah.
I thought it was a beautifully made film, beautifully acted.
Yeah,
I loved the guy. I thought he was great.
He was very good.
You know, here he comes out of jail.
He had some good emotional scenes, I thought.
Absolutely, and I liked his love scenes with Edie. I thought that she was magnificent.
She was very good. She's the, I keep using the term the heart, but she is the heart of the film.
She is indeed.
She really is a huge part of this movie, and she's excellent.
She's the Mother Earth. She's the central. She's the center of the film.
Yeah.
Everybody else just kind of revolves, except he is mostly revolving around her. So we have that romantic magnetism between the two of them.
And without giving anything away, not to interrupt, but there's a moment in this film where the two characters, Edie Falco and Jay Duplass, have this conversation about what they want out of their lives going forward.
Oh, true.
And it's interesting to see how what they both say and how the other reacts to it. I thought that was a great scene.
It was a great scene.
And it felt to me one of the most real scenes I've seen in a film in a long time.
It was very well done. And I don't think we're giving a big thing away.
No, we're not giving anything away there.
But
it's
a great conversation. He wants to go to work. He wants to come home.
Let's not give it away.
He wants to watch TV and go to bed with his girl.
Whoever that may be.
He
wants a simple life.
He wants a very simple life.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But then again, he's been gone for 20 years. And Edie, of course, she doesn't really know. She's just in a bad marriage, a failing marriage, and she's attracted to him, and maybe he's the way out. Yeah. So it's a tough gig.
It's definitely a realistic film in many different ways.
I think it's a solid 3-star film, but I think this could have been a 4-star film.
It could have been.
It had the makings and it had the directional flow of really being great, and it sucked it in. And the ending just went into a nowhere's land, and it just screwed itself out of its very own power.
Well, in a way too, though the ending was not paint by numbers predictable formula. You know, it was the little.
No, it was to me. It was that cop out. It was a cop out. I thought it was a cop out ending. It just left everything in a very blasé, anything can happen kind of thing. In this kind of a film.
I don't know. I felt a definitive solution in this film.
No way.
I didn't get the blasé, anything can happen element to it at all. I wasn't left with me. I didn't get from this film any ambiguity.
I'll change your mind later as we leave this place. I will tell you exactly why.
For me, I know where this movie
you know
went.
what transpired for you.
For me, I didn't get the ambiguity.
But I think it lacked the power that it could have had. No question about it.
Oh, yeah. Could it have been better? Of course.
But
most films could be better.
But
it was still a solid
very
3-star
absorbing.
film.
I didn't take my eyes off it. I didn't want to run in and go get a bottle of booze to drown my sorrows in like I normally do every time. I don't want to go there. But very seriously, I really enjoyed it a lot.
I did too, and it's
so absorbing. It was just a nice.
It's a human drama that somebody can go watch for an hour and a half.
In this crazy, you gotta have a gimmick world. It's nice to have something that's just plain and simple and based on real life. And yet at the same time, that's not why we go to the movies to see our simple, plain lives displayed for an hour and a half. We want to go see superheroes. We want to go see the Onerd as he's talking about, the strangeness of his own mind. And we want to really have our imaginations go wild.
I know what you're saying.
That's what we but at the same time, it's very wonderful.
Onerd is asking if we've seen anything lately that's Oscar. I'll be honest with you, Onerd. I don't think I've seen anything yet this year, 2018, that I could say is an Oscar film.
Oh, really?
I could see things getting nominated for, Avengers could get a nomination for special effects.
Well,
but
there you go.
In terms of best picture, best performances, all those films generally come out.
They come out towards the end of the year.
towards the end of the year.
Correct.
I haven't seen any yet this year that I would say is in that category.
Yeah.
I think the film I've enjoyed the most so far this year that I can recall was probably Avengers. I really enjoyed that in the theater.
Okay.
I'd have to give this some thought, so maybe I'll get back to you at a later date on that answer. But as of right now, nothing is jumping out in my head that says Oscar.
Yeah,
nothing.
There you go.
But we're going to move on.
Okay.
To a film that's also on Amazon now. It's another 2017 film that has recently popped out onto the streaming services called Revenge.
Yes, indeed.
It is a film that I believe is a French film.
Is it French?
Well, I believe the
it is. You're
people
probably
involved
right.
were French.
They are French.
There's a lot of actors in the film that speak French, or
they do,
or French Canadian. It could be more so, because I believe there are some references to Quebec and France in this film. So this could be a Canadian film. I'd have to look it up.
Yes, indeed.
But this film is it's a pretty intense revenge thriller, as the title would suggest.
I Spit on Your Grave come to mind.
Kind of, yeah. It's basically about a woman who goes on a weekend vacation with her boyfriend.
A weekend sex romp.
She's a mistress. He's married.
She's the mistress.
He does this annual hunting trip with a bunch of friends. They're all rich, and they go to some remote area to blow away animals in the middle of the wilderness.
She's a lovely,
like a desert.
She's a very lovely.
She's very attractive.
Yes. There she is sucking a lollipop.
Yeah. And so then this film just devolves into a revenge story because...
Did you say evolves?
Devolves. It devolves.
De-evolves. Well, it does evolve. Nothing doesn't devolve unless it goes in reverse.
But their relationship de-evolves into something pretty violent.
Well, no, it evolves into something violent. It goes forward
but the relationship de-evolves from this romantic relationship to something violent.
Analogy, but all right,
it's a de-evolution of the niceness that they had.
No.
But without giving anything away, some events transpire.
Whip. Yeah. You're talking Devo now.
Yes, I was. The events do occur in this film that turn it into something. I don't want to give away what happens.
No, we can tell them the premise of the film because it happens very soon on. And it's the whole crux of what this movie is. This movie is about a bunch of guys who...
well, they're away for a hunting weekend.
Well, the one boyfriend is away, and the girl is now trying. They tried this man on the right here with the beard.
Yes.
He tries to take advantage of our young girl.
Yeah, but we don't want to get into too much.
Well, he does take advantage of her. Well,
that's a spoiler.
I want to lure them into watching this film. I want to give them a reason to watch it. Otherwise, they don't have a reason to watch it.
They know that this girl is going to get revenge on these guys because they did her wrong. Well, we don't have to tell them what happens.
Well, I think we should, because otherwise it's just another revenge movie. It is just called revenge.
Yeah, but every movie has a revenge reason.
No, not every movie.
Every movie that has a revenge storyline, they're getting revenge for something bad that happens.
Well,
the film Revenge from the '80s with Madeline Stowe, Anthony Quinn,
what you're saying.
and
I appreciate
Costner.
that, and you're quite right indeed.
I just don't like giving things away.
I agree with you.
I didn't know what to expect going in.
But at the same time, I want to feed our illustrious guy here, or whoever they may be, the O-Nerd, or perhaps our cast of crew down in the lower depths there. I just want to separate this film, and
all right.
First of all, it is very stylized. That is the one beauty of it. Every scene is it is extremely gory.
Beautifully photographed.
I do have a little bit of our young girl is kind of left for dead.
Yeah.
They go to murder her. And in a very horrible way, she's now been threatened by our boyfriend here. Here he is, all covered in blood. And she's going to now go to his wife and tell on him, hey, I'm your mistress, kind of thing. So now he just
that was never really stated.
Well, yes, she says that. She says, yeah, if you don't, I want to get out of here now because...
Did she? I don't remember
Yes, she did, because she got raped by one of his friends.
Now you're giving everything away.
Well, that's okay. This all happens at the very opening of the film.
Not really.
Yes, it does.
Half hour in, that stuff happens.
Maybe. The film's only an hour and a half, so it couldn't happen too far in.
Well, that's the
But anyway,
crux of the
regardless.
first act.
Okay, I just want to give the gist, though.
All right,
now, a lot of it, unfortunately, is very unrealistic.
Well, just the fact that what happens there, there's no way...
What happens to her is absolutely outrageously outrageous. But for that reason, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that total
it works. And there are some things that
of horseshit
assist her in getting through that. It was kind of...
Oh, it's so absurd. It's so absurd, it's ridiculous.
But you put that away and you enjoy the film for what it was.
Well, very true. Yeah. And, I didn't think she was the best actress. I didn't think she had she didn't have that evil drive that we really need for these revenge films. I would have liked to see that a little bit more. But it's beautifully photographed. It really just
has a beautiful looking film.
It's magnificent looking.
The soundtrack is intense, a lot of synth.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool.
I really enjoyed this movie.
It's great fun.
I was gripped by this movie, and I couldn't wait to see how she was going to get her revenge.
Yeah.
I love that
one. We know that there obviously...
We know there's going to be revenge.
Is this more of a grindhouse film? Absolutely.
Yes.
No question about it. Tongue-in-cheek. It's not for serious. It's not going to be on Hallmark, after-school drama. It's definitely... And she's quite adorable, if
she's
you
very
will know. She's really quite lovely. And... there's moments there where I think her acting is so pathetic and so bad, but there's just something about this movie that compels you to watch.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful looking, and the violence is outrageous. So I wholeheartedly recommend it.
I recommend it too.
really
Like I said, it's on Amazon. It's a fun film.
3-star film all
There's
the way.
some fun editing cuts, some good cues.
I mean, it's
like that when
really...
that fat guy is just watching things happen, and he's eating, and they do an extreme close-up of him chewing, and they amplify the sound of the chewing.
Oh yeah,
it was very disgusting. It was
fun.
know.
It was a very sensual film.
And this film was directed by a woman, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so yeah, it's
pretty amazing.
It's a cool genre
it's pretty
film.
cool. Absolutely.
I really was happy with how much I enjoyed
Very
it.
stylish and absurd.
If you like Kill Bill, you'll like this.
Leave your brain at the door, which of course is easy for you to do.
It is easy for me to do. I leave my brain. Leave my peanut brain.
I leave my brain all the time.
But yeah, I recommend Revenge just like you do. It's a fun movie.
Cool. Yeah, it is a kick.
We're going to do a quick couple flashbacks just to keep things going with some older films a little bit once in a while.
All right, we can go a few more minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, we went over what's another film.
There was a film. Now, wait a minute. Let me ask our elite staff here. Do you have some photographs of the Sharon Stone film?
Well, we do. I put that in if we have time.
Well, why don't we do it right now?
You want to jump to that?
Let's go to the videotape.
All right.
Let's show the
Sorry
Sharon
about the
Stone.
flashback. He wants to jump the flashback.
Can we jump the flashbacks, folks?
Although O-Nerd seems to want a flashback.
Right. No, no, I think the O-Nerd is just having flashbacks.
Oh,
he's taking so much drugs.
Okay.
He's taking so much LSD, man, that he's into flashbacks.
So for the moment, we're going to bypass the 2 flashbacks.
We are, but we'll come back to the flashbacks in just a moment.
We'll flashback to the flashbacks.
Exactly, dude.
We're doing a film.
Dude,
thank you, dude.
You're so smart sometimes.
We're doing a film called All I Wish Now. It's a 2017 film, but again, it's new to Amazon fairly recently with Sharon Stone called All I Wish. It's a pretty typical,
chick flickian kind of thing.
Flickian.
The movie
She's
sucks.
a free spirit.
Yeah, the movie sucks, and that's my review. Let's now go to the flashback.
That's what I want to say.
Well, no, I want you to say whatever you like.
Well, no, I'm just going to say, I don't think the movie sucks. It's definitely a chick flick, but it's worth seeing at some point if you're bored. Because I think that she's very good in this film.
Well, she's kind of,
What's noteworthy about this film is this.
She's an obvious MILF.
She is.
In this woman, she's
she's not
cougar.
a mother, though.
She's a cougar.
She could be a cougar. She is a cougar.
She's
actually.
A cougar on the prowl.
What's interesting about this film is that it was initially written for a girl in her 20s, but Sharon Stone came on as a producer and decided, hey, let's make this about a woman in her 40s
and she looks
who doesn't want to grow up. And she looks dynamite. She's aged very well.
She really does.
She looks great.
And
it's a performance film for Sharon Stone. I think she does a great job in this film.
I'd MILF her, would you?
Of course, everybody would.
There you go.
And Tony Goldwyn plays her love interest. He's very good in this film.
Right off the heels of Scandal, which just closed.
I
thought Tony Goldwyn was...
I thought he's pretty good. He
does the role he's meant to do. He plays the boyfriend.
He does what he gets.
This film for me is like a 2-star film, though. I can't really recommend it too much. Maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning.
But if your girlfriend or wife wants to watch it,
go to bed.
You could watch much worse.
Could you?
I think you could.
I think Test Patterns would take precedence over
there's
this.
worse movies than this.
I think a guy singing the Star Spangled Banner at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I'll watch this film over and over before I watch Taste of Cherry again.
No, you wouldn't. Taste of Cherry?
It's a piece of garbage.
You mean the Russ Meyer film?
No, Taste of Cherry, no. It was a foreign film from like the 90s that I was forced to watch in film school. That was a drudgery.
Someone held a gun to your head?
Yeah, my film teacher. The whole movie was a guy driving around the sand dunes of God knows what country.
The O-Nerd would watch it.
Yes, he would. And to answer your question, we do also review TV shows occasionally.
We do?
We do.
Well, more
Stranger
Netflix
Things,
kind of
Netflix
thing,
type stuff.
Not really TV
He reviewed
shows.
the Alienist recently on this show.
I did indeed.
We do the bigger stuff,
Some of the bigger stuff, dude.
We're not going to do it. We've touched on Black Mirror.
I'd love to get into Gotham one day or something. Shows you've never seen.
I saw the first episode of Gotham.
Well, it's now five seasons
later.
I didn't
want to watch it. I don't have time for 24 episodes a season.
He's bothering to show these photos, so let us.
But that's all I wish. If you want to check it out sometime, it's a 2-star chick flick.
It's a 2-star.
It's a performance film for Sharon Stone.
Well, it's not just a chick flick because Sharon Stone is pretty amply on display here. I think she's...
No, but it's subject matter that generally is for, as they say,
as a male
chick flicks.
person, which I have been accused of being from time to time.
You're definitely a male.
I am definitely a male, and I've got the balls to prove it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say that right off the top of my testicle patch.
And you're good at mail ordering things.
I am?
Things arrive at your door, like your
I don't even know what
sheep.
I don't even know what that means.
Your inflatable sheep.
My inflatable sheep, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's very true.
Anyway, so that's all I wish. All I wish to say about that movie. That's it.
Today I got sucked into buying. I was on Facebook today, and they had these really cool They were like biker boots.
Did you buy them?
I did.
I guarantee
Did
it
you
comes
see
from
them?
China, and it probably takes 6 weeks to get.
Yeah, but they were nice. They're like leather, and they've got skulls.
You're going to
on
be disappointed.
them. No, I don't think so.
I ordered a jacket from one of those Facebook ads, and it arrived
cost me a
after
lot of
6
bucks.
weeks, and the damn coat was an extra large, and it barely fit. I had to give it away.
Well, this looked like it was real leather.
Made in
I don't
China.
know. Probably it wasn't leather. It was probably made out of.
China.
Yeah, it was probably made out of young Chinese.
Probably made of dog.
Dog bark.
Yeah.
You know, dog
snout.
Dog snout or whatever.
Doberman boots.
But I did buy them, and they were like $180
Wow.
too. They were expensive.
All right.
But I hope I hope I didn't waste the money on it. Because
right.
anyway, all I wish is that this film would just go away.
Go away into oblivion.
But Sharon looks good.
She looks great.
As a male person, I enjoyed her just acting cool and very sexy in the movie.
Yeah.
And who's a racist? I'm not a racist. Who is? I don't know who he's talking about. But anyway, regardless,
who's racist?
I don't know.
Is it that we are mocking items made in China?
Oh, he's just kidding.
I think we can all agree that most of the
Perhaps
quality
the
isn't
owner
great.
is of Asian quality.
He's
and if
not.
that is he might be.
No, he's not.
He might be, and if he is,
don't
please,
think he
we're
is.
not presenting the Asian folk. Why were we talking about Asian?
We were talking about the boots you bought from China.
Oh. Well, you said they're from China.
Well, all those Facebook ads for products, most of that stuff is all products that come from
you're
China.
the damn racist.
I'm
here.
just saying that I bought a coat that took 6 weeks to arrive, was supposed to be my size. I could barely fit it.
Oh, boy.
And it took forever to come from China. I didn't know it was going to come from China.
No, I see.
And it didn't fit me.
I'm sorry.
So I was annoyed. I spent $40
Well,
on
that's
something
a
that I
shame.
can't even wear.
All right, so we're going to go back to the flashbacks now. We got a few minutes
We're going
left.
to do them real quick.
Very quickly.
He's doing a Hard Day's Night real quick.
Hard Day's Night. It's been a hard
Obviously the Beatles film.
You know, it's a Beatles film. You know, I'd like to do all four of the Beatles for you. For me, there's John talking to you with his voice. There's Paul. He's a little bit bored up here, you know. And there's George Harrison. You know, we didn't really care about the music. We just wanted to get our knobs polished.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Well, no, I say that. He says,
And there's Ringo.
Ringo's down
Hey,
here.
him and I share a birthday, by the way.
Peace and love.
Me and
Peace
Ringo,
and love,
July
everybody.
7th.
That's right, Ringo. I believe Ringo is just down in South America doing another one of his all-star conventional shows.
Good for
He's
him.
got Todd Rundgren and Joe Walsh hanging
The
on
All-Star
with him.
American Band? Is that what it's called?
No,
or
it's
something?
called the All-Star
Band,
whatever
whatever.
the hell it is. But he's quite entertaining. Anyway, Hard Day's Night, Richard Lester film, black and white, 1965. It's just wonderful. Forgive me, 64. It's just a wonderful little piece of work. It's kind of a Marx Brothers little kind of a shenanigan. They're just running around having fun. Lots of great little scenes. Have you seen the film?
I have not.
You've not seen
I've never
Hard
seen
Day's
it.
Night?
Yeah, I've never seen
you
it.
silly fool!
You know what? I'm going to watch it one day,
You-
but I'm not the world's biggest Beatles fan.
You might as well be having...
Their music's great, but it's just not my favorite music.
Bestial sex with a rodent.
Nah.
Because you haven't seen this film.
No, I will
this
watch
film
it.
is
I will watch
fantastic.
it.
I'm
Yeah, I
telling
will
you.
watch it.
And I love her. It's got nice close-ups of Paulie doing
Yeah.
it. And it's got the old man right there. He's very clean, very
Yes.
clean. That's Paul's grandfather.
Ah.
Supposedly. It's not really his grandfather.
in the film.
But in the film it is.
Yeah.
There we go. There
Yeah.
he is. That's Paulie's grandfather.
Yeah.
But it's just got a charm about it. It takes you back to that time.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful little piece of work. It's a very short movie. And they were doing how about an all flashbacks episode? Okay.
We've done a couple of those. We did that a couple
We
weeks
should
ago.
have a big
Most
punch
of it
bowl.
was,
We should just have a big
flashbacks.
punch bowl here, and laced with acid.
Oh, we should,
Where
yeah.
we just talk about flashback, and just
That'd
talk
be
about
kinda nice,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I remember I was being chased around the kitchen table by my mother with a butcher knife. That's a flashback.
For you, that'd be therapy, probably.
I know. Well, that
Film
that,
Banter therapy.
That was a true story too. by the way.
sucks.
And it does.
I'm
suck.
sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to tell you that, dude.
My mother hit me once with a slipper, and it was painful.
There you go, it's Hard Day's Night, and there's John over there, and it just makes you miss John that much more because he was such an outrageously talented
Yeah.
individual. And, I think that he kind of drove Paulie on to being a little bit more of the, I think that that's where the competition came
Yeah, of
in,
course.
because John, and where's Yoko when you need her, I do a better John. I don't know why. I think because I'm talked out here. My John is not as good, but sometimes I like to do a nice John for you there.
Thank you.
But,
You've
okay.
had a lot of
And we're
time
not your fool
on the
little
John.
mop tops anymore, as he said in the Imagine film to the editor of the New York Times.
Okay.
Let us now move on to your flashback.
I'm doing a quick one. It's from the 1950s, 1958, The Horse's Mouth.
I'm very shocked.
With Alec Guinness.
I have to applaud you, and I'm not kidding you. This amazes me. Here, 2-3 weeks ago, I've always said to you, there's a million films that are brilliant and fantastic.
I watch a lot of old movies. You just think I don't.
Born, and before I was born.
And I watched them. I just don't watch them as often as I'd like to watch them.
The Life of Emile Zola.
Yeah.
You pulled that one out of your rectum.
Yeah, because you talked about it, and I wanted to see it.
And I told you what a great film it is.
Yeah, and I watched it.
You went back and watched it, and now you're beginning to, I like this, because you are going from the teacher.
No, but this, I appreciate your applause, but here's the thing.
Yes, Grasshopper.
You have
you
this,
are learning from your mentor.
No, you have this idea that I don't like classics. I love classics. I just don't always watch them.
You've seen none of them.
I have not. That's totally,
I know you've seen.
That's completely untrue.
No, but it's mostly true.
I spent pretty much the entire summer of 2011 watching classics from the library.
Really?
Yeah. I just haven't discussed them all with you.
Well, it is disgusting that you haven't seen most of them.
And sometimes you're just not in the mood to watch an older film because it's a different filmmaking style.
In the mood. Well, there we go.
Anyway, I was in the mood to catch up on some old movies, and so I got a couple that I special ordered from the library. Alec Guinness. So this is.
I'd like to make a brief point.
Have you seen this movie?
It's been such a long time. I don't think I've seen this one. I did see the Hearts and Coronets film that he did, where he plays 8 roles.
Yeah, I have that at home. That's the next one.
He plays 8 roles.
I know. That's why I got it.
But you mentioned
the 40s.
You mentioned you like to catch up. So
Catching up on older films.
I just want to talk about ketchup for a moment, because now they build ketchup bottles so that you turn them upside down.
Yes.
Here's a great hint for all you folks out there. Take your peanut butter jars. You know how peanut butter is always such a drag to scoop out and get there. It's just such a pain in the ass.
Yes.
You know what you do? Turn them upside down in your refrigerator.
Oh.
And then when you turn them over, all the peanut butter's at the top.
It's going to be a mess when you open the top.
Well, no, you hold it upright. Now it's been upside
I see
down.
What you're saying.
You hold it upright now.
So it's like a stalactite of peanut butter.
Exactly. It's still there, but now you can get it because it's going to gloop down.
Now they make peanut butter and jelly in the same squeeze jar too.
Oh, that's just absurd.
Honestly,
that isn't right, dude.
I don't like peanut butter and jelly.
Really? Oh, I love it.
I like peanut butter sandwiches. I like jelly on toast and things. I don't like them mixed. It's too much.
No, on white bread.
It's too much.
Or on whole wheat bread. Peanut butter and jelly is
too
really
much.
it's a delicacy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh yes.
It's the staple of my father's diet.
The Nerd. Tell us about peanut butter and jelly. Are you a fan?
Yeah, he might be.
I don't know if he is.
Anyway, back to The Horse's Mouth, real quick.
Okay.
This is really more than anything. It's a performance film for Alec Guinness.
As always.
Yeah, he's excellent.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, to you and to young people out there.
Bridge of River Kwai and many other films. Sir Alec Guinness. He wrote this film, the only film he's ever written.
Oh, I did not know
Based
that.
on a famous novel.
Who directed the film?
Directed by Ronald Neame.
Oh, I don't know, Ronald.
Biggest thing he did was The Odessa File and The Poseidon Adventure.
Oh, okay.
And The Man Who Never Was.
Oh, so he more than likely was an American director.
No, I think he was a British filmmaker.
Was he a Brit?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because, Man Who Never Was a British film.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a British guy. Yeah.
What were the others? Poseidon Adventure, of course.
Odessa File. Something called Hopscotch, A Meteor.
I'm surprised he didn't do The Towering Inferno.
No, he didn't, yeah.
No.
But anyway, this film, basically, in this movie, Alec Guinness plays a famous painter who is also kind of a scoundrel. He's trying to get by. He's fairly poor. He gets out of jail in the first scene. We see that right away.
I see.
He's somebody that's always in trouble. He's always up to shenanigans to get money, trying to con people to get money. But his life's work, he feels, is still ahead of him. He wants to make his grandest masterpiece.
Okay.
So he's always trying to do that.
Right.
And he's trying to swindle rich people into letting him do it. He does a very strange voice in this. He talks with a grasping voice the whole movie.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Oh, that's weird.
But yeah, it's a really interesting film. I didn't love the film, but I really enjoyed him in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good performance from Alec Guinness. I really enjoyed him. Probably more than anything in this film.
Okay.
But it's a well-done film. It's a 3-star film.
Okay, good.
But it's it's a 60s movie. It's very dated to look at.
Oh, Jesus.
Very dated.
Yeah.
But overall, I would recommend checking it out. If you want to check out some early work from Alec Guinness,
all right.
This is definitely one you should see.
Very
Again,
good.
The Horse's Mouth.
Well, I think that's the key to the repulsion of our audience. If you want to check out some old films by Alec Guinness,
check it out.
Yeah, this is the movie to go to.
It's one of them.
You want to see some old movie from the 1950s with Alec Guinness? Yeah, this is the one.
And I like going back into
This is a 60s film, though.
What are they?
I can tell by the...
Well, that's what I said in the opening. I said it was 1958. 58. It's a 50s film.
Okay. I thought it was a 60s film.
No, 58.
Okay.
But I enjoy going back into the old days once in a while. I just finished a film this week that I'm going to watch. I'll review next week's show, an older film as well.
Well, tell everyone what it is.
Next week I will be reviewing Best Picture 1946.
Wait, don't tell me. The best years of our lives.
We'll be talking about that next week.
Harold Russell, of course,
exactly.
The Man with the Hooks.
With the hooks, yeah.
Dana Andrews
exactly.
and
Andrews.
Walter Pidgeon.
Frederick March.
Frederick March.
Yes.
One of the greatest actors of our time.
He's very
Here's your film. Here's your
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You mentioned that to me. I'm going to get it from the library.
It is incredible.
I'm going to get
it is one of the best performances you'll ever see in your life.
I'm going to see that. I guarantee you I'm going to order that from the library this week.
Oh my God. Absolutely breathtaking piece of work. You can also get the colorized version if you like.
You can also get it. And again, I have to tell everybody.
Video.
And this is something everybody should be doing. If you want to see older films or films in general that a lot of times aren't available on streaming services these days, a lot of films
go to your
aren't.
library is what you're saying.
Go to your library. Support your library. And all your libraries in your area are all connected through the library cooperative system.
Yes.
And you can order films from all the other libraries in your area. My library has like 60, 70 libraries that I can get things from.
Wow.
I do it all the time. I have the app on my phone. It's great.
That's quite amazing.
On that note, we're going to end episode 80.
We're going to end our show.
We'll welcome you to come back next week for 1981.
And if you don't want to show up,
episode 81.
Episode 81, yes.
Definitely come back next week. Catch us. We'll be back at our normal time, 8 p.m. Not 9 p.m. Yes.
Well, we don't know
9 p.m. is not going to be the new time.
You never know.
No, that was just, I can't do 9 p.m. every week.
Maybe being terrific.
No, 9 p.m. I can't do all the time.
You can't?
I can't.
Why not?
No, I can't.
Well, you got things to do?
Because I have an engagement every Tuesday night after the show.
How many wives
I'm missing right now.
How many wives do you have?
I have one.
But you keep missing an engagement?
But I have a group of friends that I see every Tuesday night after the show. So 8 o'clock is our normal time.
All right.
So on that note, we hope you enjoyed our latest offering.
What about this note?
What note is that?
That's the note we're going to end the show
No,
on.
but what note is that?
Oh, that's a D minus.
Is it a D minus?
Yeah, it's a D minus.
Okay, are you sure about that?
No, it's more like a C. It's the upper register.
I have no idea.
It's D. It's
do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti,
do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. It was a T. It was
a
T.
Very nice.
There you go.
All right, folks, we'll see you next week.
There we go.
8 o'clock, usual time.
Hello.
Go to our YouTube page, check out all our old stuff. Just type in Film Banter on YouTube. Email us, filmbanter@gmail.com if you want to tell us anything. See you at the same terrific time
we'll be
next
back,
week.
ladies and gentlemen.
Same
It's
terrific
been a pleasure,
channel.
an honor.
It's
all
been a
yours,
pleasure.
of course. But we shall return.
We'll see you guys.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure and an
honor.
honor.
Have a great week, everybody.
Good night,
Have a great
everyone.
Memorial Day. Don't
Good
burn
night.
your fingers off.
As the Queen would say.